was trying to hold off a few minutes and give my wife a few more minutes to reach, but she'll be here in a short while. Let me say Happy New Year to everybody in the building. My story is an interesting one. I dubbed it in some ways called I Am I, because it's a story of being me. One that's not easy to tell, and one that I've never fully ever told anyone. See, it's a story about a man who didn't know who he was, never believed that his identity or his life had purpose. It's a story of a man who tried to find enjoying life, family, and friends, and never truly fit in. So this story goes back about 35 years, when a little baby boy was born to a baby. But she was a young girl, 14 years old. She didn't know how to truly raise a child. In a lot of ways, she carried so much pain and anger in herself and probably so much fear, and ended up pouring on the child herself. Born to a father that was in an adulterous situation and statutory rape by the law says. And so all of this ended up falling on the child, whose identity, who knows who he is? No one can truly say. A child born from so much pain, trying to figure out, who am I? What am I to do? Never felt like I had a place. Friends, family, even those that loved me, couldn't really feel it, didn't get into my heart, never really got through. It was years of trying and trying, believing that love and life was about giving to everybody else and never looking for myself. Trying to figure out, who am I? Why am I here? And ended up sometimes just putting my heart on the shelf. Trying to figure out what it is that really will make me a man. Is it giving away my strength to everybody and leaving myself empty and dry, broken, angry, hurting? But that wasn't the path. Seeking God, trying to be a Christian, falling down so many times, trying to figure out, is this the way for me? How am I to be the person, God, that you've called me to be? A loving heart, a poet, a songwriter, a happy person in many ways. Always active, always trying to give, but all it really was a cover, so I wouldn't face the pain that I carried in me so many days. See, my story is an interesting one. It's had its good days, its ups and its downs. I've been a father of many, a couple that weren't even mine, and had to separate. And see, that's another hurtful fall down. Thinking that pouring my life and love into those that didn't appreciate me was the way to go. Love the stage, love to act, never realizing it was just a mask, hiding the real person I was inside, and the hurtful things I went through. My first marriage was a thunderous roar. I was stubborn as a rock, didn't listen to anyone, even myself. Everyone said no, even God. But I said I was trying to do the right thing because I thought she was pregnant. And 18 months pregnant, I have to say. Still counting time. But it taught me many lessons. It taught me about my strengths, about my limits, and the things I was running away from for so long I had to face during that time. Scars it gave me, and scars I gave to. I lost my identity, the one I never truly knew. But I knew one thing about myself. I wasn't abusive. I wasn't angry all the time. But yet, that was the person I found myself to be, and I realized, this is my place, this is my time. I tried to find love again, in someone much younger, I could say. I don't know if it was because of my roots, being born to a young woman herself, or from my father's ways. It started out like heaven, sunshine, happiness each day. But just like the waves of the sea, after you have that rise, you have that fall that goes so low in so many ways. But yet, even through all of that pain, all of that hurt, I'm still here today. I have a smile at this point that no one can ever take away. See, I fell to the point that I don't think the ground could have gotten any lower. Some persons say they fall on the ground. I'm sure I was looking up at the soil. and knew I couldn't get any lower. But I found something that gave me strength. Because see, I've had times in my life when I felt my value was so low that I wanted to die, take away my life. But God reminded me of one thing. It only takes a small candle to give light. And even though my world seemed so dark, God reminded me each and every one of us is a beautiful light. So I started climbing my ladder, trying to figure out what it was to be a man. Didn't have the father I loved and desired to guide me, but still I pushed to be this man. Decided in my heart I wouldn't try to look for love in others, in relationships, but to take my time to know who I really was and I wanted to be. God blessed me in that process when I started looking around for love with my beautiful life and my beautiful wife that's here with me tonight. I fought, and I'm still fighting even sometimes today. But I found in the midst of my fight the strength to stand so that I could be a light for somebody else someday. I did things in this year gone and past that I would not have believed I would have been able to do. I wrote a book. I had a beautiful son. I've been on stage in plays in Kippy's Kingdom, if you see it a time or two. And I've realized through all of it, the pain that I went through, it's a part of what made me a man. Because it gave me the strength to not let my heart become stone, but still soft so I could love and teach others too. How that even though sometimes we fall, and sometimes we come from situations that may be filled with so much pain, and even though sometimes our life seems like nothing but darkness, we don't give up. God's always there, holding an umbrella for you, telling you, I'll stand with you in the rain. So my smile today is one of peace, one of joy in every way. Because see, I've stumbled, I've fell, I've made my mistakes, but I've learned that I'm a man today. Because I love my children with all of my heart and do everything I can to keep them close. I love my wife and treat her like the queen she is. Some may never know that. I'm lucky in so many ways, Joe. I'm striving to build and grow wealth, not for riches, not for money in any way, but so that when I'm in the position, I can give back to others and help also guide their way. My poetry, my songs, my music, my acting, they're all a part of me. But I wouldn't be a man in any way if it wasn't for the gift of my family. And my family is just not the ones I live with and I take care of every day. My family is my nation, my brothers, my neighbors, and I've learned that's what makes me a man every day. Because if I don't take care of my neighbor's son or my neighbor's daughter and treat them with love and respect, they're going to be the same ones climbing over my wall, trying to hurt the ones I truly love and protect. So I've learned to be a man, to take my blows, and to be grateful for the good and for the bad. See, my story may have been one that started out with an unknown ending, but today I can smile and I'm truly glad. Because it's given me a loving heart to understand how to treat others with respect and kindness too. I am perfect. Don't touch my children. But I'll always smile and be there like a listening ear for anyone, all of you. This is the man I am, and this is the man I'm proud I can say today. I've had my good, and I still have my bad days. I have moments I sit down and I hold my head and I say, Lord, you sure this is what you want me to do? Because I'm not sure, doubting myself. For so many of the pitfalls and bad choices I've made, but I press on anyway. I have days when I see the sun and I wonder, oh God, am I going to see another day? Or am I really walking the path you've set for me? And then God makes me smile as I sit down and I write a column that touches somebody else's heart, and I realize I'm on my right way. See, my story may not have started as one that was beautiful, with an ending I could see, but my story is what's made me the man I am, and I'm happy in every way the man I am now and I can be. I can give back to others, young, old, doesn't matter who they be, because see, the story I share is a story of triumph over hurt, darkness, abuse, pain, loneliness, but sometimes we walk around and no one can ever really see. But it's when we share our stories and we let others know and understand I'm human just like you. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect in any way. But when I fall, I hope that you're there to help pick me up too. So if you see me on the road smiling, then you know this smile is right. Because the smile comes from a heart that's seen many days of darkness, but has found its way to the light. So my story is a story of a poet, a writer, a songwriter, but greatest of all, a father and a husband. Because I never thought I would have a family for the way I came into this world. But I'm happy I'm the man I am. And thank you for your time for listening to my story.